Welcome to Seeing Scarlet. It's Shelby here with Tyler. We are back for our Gobble Gobble Thanksgiving episode. You're only getting one episode from us this week because holidays, we got things to do. We got family to see, food to eat, all the things later this week. So what we're doing in this episode is we're recapping soccer. What a season, gals. Almost heartbreaking loss against the defending champs. They did the damn thing. One of the best showings I've had all year. Just came out short in PKs. We're going to talk about that. Thank you to the seniors. All the season, all the memories from everything that happened there. Women's basketball is doing the damn thing. 7-0, Tyler. Big time win over Mississippi State last week that we didn't get to recap yet, so we're going to go through that for sure. Then they went on the road in a tough place to play at altitude and handled business against New Mexico in their most recent game. And then the day you're watching this, they're going to be playing on Tuesday night already again. Their schedule's crazy, and then they play on Tuesday against Old Dominion, and then Thursday against North Texas in Frisco. So DFW Red Raiders, you're home for the holidays, you're just there, you want to go see this team, get your eyes on them in person and see if they're for real. Spoiler alert, they are. But if you want to see it yourself, you can go see it in Frisco. Check it out at the Comerica Center, I believe is what it's called. And then, of course, they can't win without us, Tyler. Tyler's going to give his football scouting report on how we're going to beat the West Virginia Mountaineers and clinch our spot in the Big 12 championship game for the first time in school history. There's a lot going on in this episode, but it's the only one you got from us this week. So like, subscribe, share with your friends, comment, hi. Also, appreciate everybody that went to the game for soccer as we move into that, and came and said, hey, down on the field. Y'all are awesome. Y'all, there's a lot of Seeing Scarlet viewers that came to that game because we yapped at y'all and told you to, and you came and said hello on the field, and I appreciate that so much. It was a great game. I know y'all were entertained. Some of y'all had not watched a soccer game all year, and that was your first one, you told me, and y'all were loving it. Hopefully you'll catch more of them, even if it's on TV next year, because it's a fun team, and they had a chance. Tyler and everybody knew, and I'll start it off in reverse a little bit with the post-game, because Tom said in the post-game, he told his team before the game, if there was ever a night that you're going to give everything to a sport, tonight is the night. Because they loved their draw, Tyler. We talked about it in their preview. Everybody in this region loved their draw. UNC did, we did, TCU did, maybe in Memphis, I don't know. But we did. Those three definitely loved the draw, and they all felt like whoever gets out of this region could go to the Final Four, and I think it's playing out that way. Spoiler alert, it ends up being TCU. They also went to PKs with UNC earlier today, and they won. Got a little lucky, but they won. They won. And we could have done it, Tyler, and we played right with UNC in this. It was a battle in the first half again. I thought UNC blitzed us a little bit in the first 10 minutes, and then we settled in, and we're like, okay, we belong here. We started playing. They could not stop Kylie Barr or Macy Blackburn down the flanks. Like, they were cooking some fools. Peyton and Kylie were having fun on the left side. Macy and Sam were having fun on the right side. We had a few good chances in the first half. Came out in the second half. UNC got a goal about 13 minutes or so into the second half. Just a scorcher right at top of goal. We were doing a great job on the outsides, but so they just kind of cut through the middle, and she took a hack. It was very, very similar to the goal they scored in Lubbock 2 years ago, 2023 goal. And I was like, okay, you're kidding me. Like, there's nothing Faith could have done with that. It was just a class goal, and she made it. But what I love this time is it's like that flipped a switch in us, and no one... no, you could see it in their eyes. Everybody on our team thought we were gonna, like, well, that sucks, but like, let's just go score. Like, we took over the game from there. I mean, we scored like 3 minutes later or something, very quick. We're gonna show you that highlight, even though we're breaking our rule where if you don't win, you don't get highlights. But I don't care. It's Macy the Goat Blackburn scoring one of her best goals of her career. But I'll just say the best goal of her career because of the moment. We'll show it to you in a minute. But she scores that. Gets us right back in it. It's tied. And then we had chance after chance. I mean, one in front of goal from Raleigh Greason that passed a beautiful pass through like three people. Is she a freshman? I mean, she's not anymore. She didn't play like a freshman out there. That was her best game of the year. Tom Stone said the same thing in the post game that Raleigh was great. She was. She made a great pass to Taylor Strzeski, our leading goal scorer, who kind of gets it past the keeper, but then UNC had a defender that slid in, made a tackle. Got it out for a corner, and then on that corner, I swear, I want to see the replay, that Peyton dang near got a Olympico. Like, she almost got it in there. Like, if there was a camera down the line, like, I want to see how close that was for the whole ball, making it over. The keeper kind of punched it out. And then we had a few other chances. Tyler goes to overtime. UNC had some scary chances in overtime, but we staved them off, get it to PKs, and as Tom said, it's a hard way to win and a brutal way to lose. And unfortunately, on that field, it's the second time that's happened in a couple of weeks for this team, and I hate it for them. Faith had a big save. We had some clutch shots, and UNC just couldn't miss that day. If we had gotten the UNC PKs that TCU did today, we would have won. I'll tell you that much. But sometimes it's meant to be for you, and sometimes it's not. And that's just how it was. And their season was, unfortunately, I don't want to say meant to end there, but it did end there. And we lost 4-3, I think, in PKs. It was tragic. It was heartbreaking. Had post game, Peyton and Macy were there. We have a clip from that. I mean, they're both going to be playing pro soccer, so it's not the end of the sport for them. So it wasn't like a, oh my God, I'm done playing soccer kind of feel. They were just, obviously sad to be done with their careers here. But also a lot of positivity and good moments shared that we can talk through. But that's kind of your quick kind of summary of the game. Again, we don't have full highlights, but I thought we looked class. I thought we looked like we belonged. Sometimes you get on the field with team. That's basically the youth national team, right? And sometimes you get on the field with those type of players and you just look like you don't belong there. And we were saucing them up. Sam Carter was great. Kylie Barr was the best player on the field, arguably. I was talking to UNC fans. Half of them wanted her thrown out of the game, Tyler, because they thought she was too physical. They were wimps. The other half were telling me that they haven't faced a defender that good all year. And that nobody stops Thomas the way that Kylie kept stopping her. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's Kylie Barr. Like, I'm used to it because I see it every game. But yeah, she is the best defender in the country. I'm biased. But it's pretty cool when you hear that from UNC fans saying that about her. So I hope Kylie knows that because she has a year left, thankfully. I know she's been fighting through that injury, and she was warrior through that to end the year. And she gave it everything she had, like all of them did. All in, all the time. And they gave it, and it just wasn't meant to be, and I hate that for them. But they got a lot left to give to the game, both the ones that are returning, and I think a lot of them are going to go play pro soccer, so I'm excited to see where they go.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I do agree. Like, that probably was one of our best games of the year, and unfortunately, it didn't result in a win, but, well, technically, it resulted in a draw, but
Yeah,
by
it
soccer
didn't
terms.
result in a
Yeah,
loss because
technically.
soccer is weird, but
Yes. But yeah, we've just played really great. Kylie looked really great. I really love the urgency and the response for Macy to get that goal after they scored. They could have very well let that bog them down, similar to like last year's second round game with Duke, where we just honestly could not just keep up because it was Duke, but we didn't let UNC's title of defending national champs stop us. I mean, we were right there with them the entire game. It really just came down to just bad luck on penalty kicks. But other than that, I mean, I think it was a great way for us to. I think it was a great game to end the season off with. Raleigh, I mean, just insane. Looked great like this, as you said. Didn't look like a freshman. I mean, everybody came to play, and I think that's what I love most about it is that the team just was confident. They were unfazed by everything. Yeah, Olivia Thomas sometimes was like going crazy and was being super fast, but I mean, our defense like just had her locked up. I mean, she really wasn't getting anything necessarily on frame or on goal. Faith was so
so
good in
good.
this game. I mean,
Oh,
the saves
their
that she
fans
had.
were sick
Yeah.
of Faith Win. They were like, "Who
She
is
did
this
her
girl?" I was like,
job. She
"That's
did her
Faith Win.
job.
Period. That's who that is."
Yes. Crazy. But yeah, other than that, like, yeah, what a great season. What a great group of girls. Really sad that all of these seniors are going, but again, we left it all out there, so that's all that you really can ask for in any game, especially in postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk more about the seniors in a second, but first you got to see one of the seniors, one of the goats of the program, Macy
Yes.
Blackburn. You mentioned it. She was not going to go out like that. One
Nope.
year, 2 years before that, we lost to UNC 1-0. Macy Blackburn was not in that game. Macy Blackburn was damn sure in this game, and she said, "We're not losing 1-0. I'm going to go score my damn self." After the game, to set up this goal, I'll show the clip. I asked them about that, and she said that Peyton actually kind of caught her off guard. It was another one of those short corner plays. It was kind of the opposite of the one that they did against UTSA, where Macy got it to Peyton. That was a play, and that is an option, but Macy for some reason wasn't expecting it. She thought Peyton was going to loft it up into the box. I think UNC felt the same way because we talked to UNC after the game, and they said that we kind of just let our guard down for 3 seconds, and Macy took a hack. Macy says on this goal that she looked down and the ball was there, and she said sometimes that's the best thing to happen because your body just kind of takes over, and she did that.
Shot hits the crossbar and it's in. From about 20 yards out, Tech equalizes.
Freaking out. Look at her. She's like,
talked about those next 5 minutes. Texas Tech just right back on the gas pedal.
oh, so many fans.
Look at all this
Not going to be
texting.
denied on the second opportunity.
Macy
Man, I'm gonna
Blackburn,
miss
we
Macy
talked about
Blackburn's
her skill
intensity so
as a
much.
connector and the assist that
The
she had.
stunned
She
look
comes
on
up
her
with a
face.
huge
It
goal
goes off
for
of that
the
keeper's
Red
back.
Raiders here
Kind of bad luck for
to
her,
level
but
this game at
when you hit it
one.
that hard.
Yeah, I was wondering how long it was going to take before Texas Tech really pushed her higher up the field.
Wow.
Absurd. How long? Macy's always high up the field, lady.
Blackburn.
Learn.
Finish. That's why she's on the Matt Herman watch list.
Ugh.
See this ball hit the crossbar and then right off
Wow.
the backside.
Goat. I'm so excited to watch Macy Blackburn play in the pros. It'll be interesting to see like what position she plays and all the things because she played such an interesting role for us as an outside back, but was such a big part of the offense. So excited to see where she ends up next. She's a pro, and I'm sure she has plenty of options. So that was a big time pro moment. After the game, you saw the fans in this clip. I asked Peyton and Macy both kind of no one who wants to end the game or end your career at all, but if it was going to end, I guess how nice was it to end when you had that many Red Raiders in the stands and you could go over there and do a Raider power and all that. And this was their answer. So let's hear from the seniors one last time as Red Raiders. Well, they're always Red Raiders. We're going to get them on the show or something in the future. We'll drag them on here. It's kicking and screaming for you in the future, but for now, in that uniform.
And I think it just showcases the Texas Tech community goes so beyond just Lubbock. I mean, obviously when we're at our stadium, when we're at the Walker, we get so many amazing fans, but the fact that, we can be in a completely different place 5 hours from home and still have that many fans cheering us on. I mean, more than just family. I mean, those were fans in the area is so incredible. And I think just it's such an honor to play for a university that rallies behind their sports and their teams so well, and I know that we're so grateful for that.
Our fans have showed up for every big game that we've had this year, and just hearing them chant while we're playing, or even when we go down a goal and hearing Raider power in the stands, it just gives you a boost of confidence that people believe in you. And so having them there for all of our big games has been huge, and just so thankful for the Red Raider community.
See, fans, that's what we say when we say y'all matter. When you show up, y'all matter. So it was good to hear. I don't know if that full thing ever got posted on the internet, but there's good stuff in it, like there always is. I asked Peyton about her and Kylie cooking everybody up in this game and their relationship. And if y'all aren't aware, they're both from Colorado and they played soccer growing up together, so they've been playing a long time. And Peyton got pretty emotional when asked, and that was never my goal. I actually went in that press conference and said, I don't want to make either of them cry. I don't want to do that. So I was doing my best not to. But it's an emotional moment, and she gave a great answer, and it was really good. And she just talked about how she loves Kylie, and she's her favorite person in the world to play soccer with. And she talked about how much Kylie's been through with the injury, and that it was so much fun to finish her last year getting to play together and playing as well as they did in this game, and how much it meant to her and how much it meant to Kylie. And it was pretty awesome. Just things like that. I thought her and Kylie were great all year, and I really thought Macy and Sam were great in this game. And we always say that's Macy is the GOAT and Sam's baby GOAT. And moving forward, maybe Sam's gonna get to take on the reign of trying to be the next GOAT in the future. But those are gonna be players that we always obviously have to replace, along with a lot of others. You have Macy Blackburn, Peyton Parsons, who you just heard from, Molly Skrasinski, president of her fan club. I'm going to have to retire from that. I'm going to have to find a new player. I don't know, Molly. I'm going to miss you out there. Faith Wynn, period, in goal. She didn't start here at Texas Tech, but she's been a big part of it. Chloe Yopich, she played like the first 5 games, got injured. Still a Red Raider for life. Love her. Can't wait to see what she does next. I think she's going to try to play pro soccer after she recovers. And then Kate, big game, Kate Leibel. I'm so hyped that she got that game-winning assist in the UTSA game, because we've talked about her before, and kind of goes unseen sometimes, and you don't see her in the box score, but it was cool to see her get in the box score in the postseason for the big game that she is for that. So all 6 of them, I'm going to miss them. And to be honest, especially the ones that were on that team in 2023, anybody that was on that team in 2023 that's graduated already, the ones that'll graduate next year, and maybe a couple after that still have years left because of injury. I'm gonna be honest, they're kind of the reason that Sing Scarlet still exists. If I'm being frank, I don't know if they realize that or not, but that was the first team that like they had that special season, and I flew down from North Carolina and went to the postseason, and I still remember after the Princeton game, like Madison White bear hugging me and their parents talking to me. And then after the UNC loss, a few of them grabbed us and wanted to talk to us. And their parents, they were just so appreciative of Tyler. They were like hugging us and saying, thank you for doing this show. And Tyler knows this because he gets the same thing now at games. Like it goes on after that. But
It does.
and they said something that like stuck with me forever after that. And their parents were like, we're so glad that you're here and you exist, but we wish you had existed before now. And then they hugged me, and I was like, what? And I was just like, you're welcome. And then I was pissed off, Tyler. And like that was the moment that I realized like what we're doing actually matters. You know what I mean? I don't know if it matters on a huge scale, whatever, but it matters. And it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. We should just be another podcast talking about Texas Tech sports that doesn't have an impact. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for whatever reason we do, because they don't feel like they're getting that elsewhere. And so just to have two random yahoos on here talking about them and making sure people know about them, making sure people show up to these games in Dallas, Fort Worth, and all that matters to them. And so that's why I'm not kidding. I don't know if Senior Cart would still exist because it's a lot of work. And that was the first game. I mean, we had like maybe 100 subscribers on YouTube, maybe 700 followers on Twitter. Like it was barely started that year. And it was so much work that I just don't know. Like if I didn't know that an impact was being made, if we would still be doing it. Because I don't give a shit about, like, my face being on this. Like, if I could do this and y'all didn't know who I was, like, I would. Like, so that's not why I'm in this. I'm only in it because it makes an impact. And that was the first team that I was like, oh, it actually is. And then we've seen it with softball and some others. So that's my thank you to the seniors, is thanks for existing. And thanks for showing us the impact that's being made here, even if it's just on a small level. And we'll keep trying to do more. But y'all were a big part of that, to be honest, and the ones that are still here and after that, of course. But that's how I'll kind of remember this group. It's going to be really weird to cover soccer games on this show in a game where Molly, Peyton, and Macy aren't out there, at least one of them. I won't lie.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really weird. I mean, this was such a great senior class, and I'm very appreciative of everything that they've given this program and what they all have done and accomplished. They were the class that we talk about really like put this program back on the map to compete up there with the blue bloods of college soccer, and we literally did compete with a blue blood of college soccer, just came up short. But I'm just super proud of this group. They really did do everything, and even like the transfers. Chloe in the 5 games she was in was great. Faith, obviously, I mean, as we said, she did her job the other night. That was probably her best game, honestly, like of her Red Raider career, one of her best ones.
Clutch.
I mean, all these players just so great, and it's going to be so weird not to see them out there in Red Raider uniforms, but I trust that they left the program better than they found it, and I know that Tom is always going to have a plan. Doesn't matter if we have all freshmen coming in next year. We don't, but it doesn't even matter what the situation is. Tom will have it right. But these players were a huge part in getting us back to where we need to be. Top 10 team in the nation, really. I mean, let's be for real here.
For sure. And Tom
top 5
said
at one
after
point.
They were. Tom said afterwards, he's like, we've been a work in progress all season. Like, that's the truth. But tonight you got to see their best. And you did. And sometimes years are like that, where you have all this talent, and sometimes it comes together in a few games, and then you have games where it doesn't. And that was kind of the season, but man, they went out showing who they were, and they played. All of them made an impact, for sure. And they brought them back after COVID. We were kind of falling apart after that, like a lot of programs, and it's like, oh, did we just lose all the momentum we had? No, the momentum's back, and they're definitely a top 16 program in the country now, in my opinion. And it's like, now we just need to get over that hump. And yeah, there's always people who are replacing. Like, I'm not going to downplay how important all 6 of those people are, but especially, Macy, Peyton, and Molly, who have been here for a while, and Faith and goal and all that. Like, all these players are big. Macy's the GOAT. You can't replace Macy. Like, there's no one that does what Macy does. She's the all-time leader in assists, and she, like, by a mile. Like, it's going to take a while. I mean, same court, right? It's like, watch me. Gonna do it. I don't know, but yeah, like, you don't replace that one for one, but that's kind of the program. Like, however many years ago, it was like, oh god, how are we gonna replace Janine Becky? Just 2 years ago, how the hell are we gonna replace Madison White and Hannah Anderson? Like, it's someone every year, and Tom gets that, and it's not in a disrespectful way. Like, he understands, and he's like, yeah, these seniors are great, but he doesn't say it in a like, oh, like, I don't appreciate what they did. He'll be like, on one token, yeah, Macy, there's no one that's ever been as good as Macy, but he's like also very excited about what is returning, and he talked about that in the press conference too a little bit, and hopefully, maybe, we'll have him on the show at some point to maybe get into this season and, more importantly, the future as well. We can talk about that more. But, I mean, when you look at this roster, there's more returning next year as far as, like, spots kind of settled than there was this year. You got to figure out how to replace Macy and Faith, which are massive people. But, like, you're 3 of your 4 backline are returning. You get Chloe Soto back from injury, who's a major player, a bulldog. She'll bring that toughness at times this year. Maybe you missed a little bit. You had more finesse in the midfield this year, but she's like a bulldog out there. She'll go out there and just you ain't gonna step on a field and lack toughness with Chloe Soto out there. Gianna Gregor was great this year as a freshman when she got in there. She'll be in there now. You got Emma Torres. It'll probably be alongside Sam there. And you get Bug back from injury. 20 minutes into the season, she had a goal and an assist and then went down with an injury because that's the cruel sport that is soccer. You have her, Z, and Raleigh Greason. Oh, my God, at top. And you have Kylie Barr, the best defender in the country. I mean, I could go on. Sam, I didn't even say Sam freaking Courtright. Like, Sam was kind of like playing alongside Macy, but I think you're going to hand Sam Courtright the keys, and now she's going to get to run the offense next year. So there's plenty to be excited about, and I'm excited to see what these seniors do, because I think all of them, if they so choose, could go play pro somewhere. Even Chloe once she gets healthy. So obviously I know Faith and Macy have talked about wanting to go play pro, and I think Peyton as well. I'm not sure what Molly's plans are, but I'm telling you right now, Molly's Krasinski could play pro somewhere. So I'm still holding out hope. December 15th goes our way. Those football players win their little thing, but I don't know if these players are ready to move on anyway. But hey, maybe there's a world we get another year of the true fourth-year seniors. I can hold out hope, but they all seem fully ready to move on to the next chapters. But never say never. I can pray about that.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
I'm not going to leave the presidency of Molly's Krasinski's fan club until I'm forced out of the Oval Office, okay? You're going to have to force me out of
Drag her out.
Yeah, that's soccer. Appreciated covering them all year. As we said on Twitter, they're like the easiest cover in sports. They go about it the right way.
So easy. Yeah.
You never, I mean, there's like an episode or two where we're like, that wasn't Texas Tech soccer. Like, it happens every once in a while, but you're just like shocked. You never have to worry about it. Like, they're going to play, they're going to win most of their games. They're going to do it the right way. They're going to be contending. They're going to be in the postseason, and they're respectful. They put up with all my silly questions in the post game. Love them for that. All those things. And they're always really, just appreciative of everything and the fans and everything y'all ever heard. They're a great group, and y'all should support them next year. As we say every year, don't wait till the postseason. Y'all had a good time. Get out and support them earlier in the year next year. Remember the feeling of this game that you went to for the first time, and do that from the start next year.
Yeah, be there next year. Get your tickets, all the things. I mean, like we said, y'all shouldn't only be showing up for, I know Peyton said, y'all showed up for every big game this season. Well, how about y'all show up for like all the games this season instead of just the big game? Like, just show up, be there. I mean, y'all make a difference, and I mean, we are super appreciative of all of y'all coming out. I mean, that Dallas crowd was hype. That was insane. Large group of Red Raiders, basically another home game in a sense for us. But this team plays well at home. They've only had one loss at home in 3 years, so pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I'm sure that will continue next year. So much talent returning. So can't wait. And then we didn't even mention it, but go look it up. They have a huge freshman class coming in with some really big time players in that as well. So it's Texas Tech soccer. This is like every year it's a new batch of stars, and I can't wait to fall in love with someone new and find a new presidency to uphold. I'm gonna hold out hope that I don't have to though. But moving into women's basketball, they're trying to get on that level, and they're doing some damn things right now. Tyler, 7-0 to get to 6-0. They beat Mississippi State. Oh my gosh, it was only a few days ago, but it feels like a lifetime ago. So many sports. On Thursday night, I was able to be there after all because the soccer game got moved, so I was very thankful for that. We won at 69-62. Wasn't the prettiest game at all. We were down big after the first quarter, but it was like, even watching it, even being there, I was like, if we just hit some damn shots, like we're getting good looks, we were just doing things, we were sped up a little bit, not playing great, but like you still felt like if we just started playing better, we'd be in it, and then damn sure did they. That was one of the best quarters they played all year, if not the best quarter, definitely defensively they played all year. In the second quarter, They locked them down, only allowed 2 points after allowing 31 in the first quarter, allowed 2 total
Insane.
points. And
Insane.
scored 15. And we missed a few bunnies still in the second quarter, or we would have had a lead at halftime. Like, it was just one of those nights where, like, shots weren't falling, but we fought through it. And so that was my biggest takeaway from this game. And then I'll turn it over to Tyler. Since he couldn't watch New Mexico, I'll do most of that recap. So I'm going to let him do most of the Mississippi State one. But my biggest takeaway from Mississippi State was the toughness factor. And it was very encouraging because I'll be honest, before Mississippi State, I don't know that I knew that this team had toughness out of all 5 players on the court at the same time. Of course, there was a handful of them that I knew were tough players. But had I seen all 5 on the court at the same time be tough and like could win a game with just toughness, I hadn't seen that yet this year. We were like more finesse, we were more shooting, pretty basketball, which was great because we haven't seen that in a long time around here. Pretty basketball. They were doing that to win these games before that. It wasn't pretty in this one, and they just put their damn hard hats on, which you'll see later in the next game, and went to work and just out-toughed a team in Mississippi State that prides themselves on toughness, and on a day that you did not shoot it well at all, and you still won that game. And we have a short rotation, and we broke out in the fourth quarter to really take over. Like, that was one of the most impressive things, is like 26 points in the fourth quarter when you're that tired and been playing that hard. So that was kind of my biggest takeaways. How about I show the highlights, and you do want to talk over the highlights, Tyler?
Yeah, that works.
Do your thing. Oh!
Started out.
Jalen, she was great again in this, always. Jalen was very impressive because she was only 1 from 8 in this, from 3 in this game, but still had 18 points, I believe.
There we go, Jalen. Yeah, I mean, the first 3 minutes were great. I mean, we were keeping up with them shot for shot, but then we kind of let them go on a little run.
Yeah, you know what happened before that? Gemma Nunez got fouled, or got 2 fouls. We were only down 2 points, 10-8, when she left the game, and it was a phantom foul by the refs. I remember that. She leaves the game, and they go on a whatever that is run, to 21-8 run to end the quarter without Gemma on the the floor. And magically she comes in to start the second quarter, and we look like ourselves again, Tyler. It's shocking how that happens. She's so important.
Very important.
Smooth.
And then this is where, there we go. Got some momentum there with Snudda.
We're in the second
quarter.
quarter.
I know, second quarter.
And we take over.
Big 3 from Bailey.
Didn't have a lot of those, but we love
I only had 3 threes the entire game. Isn't that insane? And we got out-rebounded.
Oh, Snudda was second quarter. Snudda Collins won the game for us in the second quarter, in my opinion.
I called it. I said, we need the Mississippi native to show up big, and she did.
And she woke the hell up in the second quarter because she wasn't showing that in the first quarter, and none of them were, and she kind of set the tone. Jada Malone again.
Really great. That SEC experience. Both of our SEC players come in clutch. Sydney Love made a tough basket. Jada Malone again.
And a shot clock.
Look at that.
Bailey said, "You go get this." Okay. Snudda is such a good finisher. Now we're into the third quarter.
Tied it up. Crowd was hype.
Oh my god, the crowd was so loud in this game. One of the threes we made, it was like when we weren't thinking we made the threes. They were all kind of like at the end of shot clocks. I think we were just in our head a little bit.
Look at this defense. Hema was all over them.
Good.
All over them.
So damn good. She just got another one, or a rebound. Look at that. One thing I think this team is going to keep improving on is what you just saw there. Because you see it a little more in the New Mexico highlights. Well, you'll get to see it for the first time maybe in the New Mexico highlights in a minute. I think maybe Danae ran the floor in a couple of times on a pass from Gemma in the New Mexico game. I still don't think we've quite learned yet how good Hema is at passing in transition, and her teammates are starting to learn that because you saw Bailey. I was up. People like they put us way up in the second deck for media, even though there are no fans set up there for the women's games right now. Eventually they will. But I love it because I can see like the full court. Like I can see everything happening before it happens. And I'm telling you right now, Hema saw Bailey when Hema was like at the 3-point line of the other end. She saw her. She saw where Bailey was going to be. That's just how good a vision she is. Took a few more dribbles to let Bailey get there and then passed it. Like that, she sees the floor. So if you run your ass, she's going to get you the ball. And I don't think we're quite there yet. We don't do it enough. But we saw it in this game, and you're going to see it in the New Mexico game. And I think that's another area where this team can really grow and you're going to see them get better. Because that was big time. It was a big moment in the game, too.
And
Look at
this
pass.
was the biggest moment of the game.
Let 'em
This
know.
was the momentum shifter. Per ESPN, this was the momentum shifter. This is when they all predicted we were going to do it. Jada Malone going up for the and one rebound,
Start the
getting a
fourth
huge
quarter.
rebound. There we go. Nija Kennedy out there,
We're
basically.
gonna
I mean,
replay
what
that.
we have to replay.
Bailey mop it.
Woo!
But also the catch and the finish, like most people aren't catching that fastball, that Nigel Kennedy fastball, and then finishing, but Snudda can.
Look at that, Snudda Collins.
She had like 8 of her points, I think, in the fourth quarter. She really good in the second quarter rebounding, really good in the fourth quarter closing out. This was kind of the dagger 3. They went down and made another 3 right after this, I think, to kind of stay in it. But yeah, I was just supremely impressed with their toughness, their bounce back, their poise. Bailey said after the game, was asked I asked her, yeah, I'm sure your coaches said something to you, but what was said between the players, like between the first and the second quarter? And she said, honestly, we just, I don't want to paraphrase her, but she said, I felt like we were acting like we shouldn't be here. The message between each other was basically like, we deserve to be here. We deserve to be playing in big games like this. As soon as we got our heads in it, we were ready to go. And that's kind of what you saw. And so maybe now that they know, and you don't need that moment mid-game, it takes learning that sometimes. But I thought that was big, obviously. Snowden in the second quarter, I don't think we win the game without that. Another random moment that happened is the refs are going to ref and somehow gave Francis, someone else, a foul that was supposed to go to Francis. They're big. That's so good. We talked about the freshman. And so she got to stay in the game for like 3 or 4 possessions more than she should have. She got an and one in that period and then got fouled again. And the refs noticed that she was still in the game at that point. And they went and reviewed it and were like, she's not supposed to be in the game. So they take her out, but you can't take points off the board. And they got to pick who they wanted to come in and shoot free throws for her. So they picked the best free throw shooter they had on the bench. Anyway, so they basically got like 3 free points out of a player that should have been on the bench. I asked Ehrlich about that after the game just to get clarification, and she did say the refs figured it out on their own, so she didn't have to initiate the review. But her staff did figure it out as well when she got fouled, and they're like, why is she still in the game? So It's one of those things that our coaching staff shouldn't have needed to figure that out, but thankfully the refs did. But that was a big moment. She fouled out. We knew she was foul prone. The team talked about attacking her. That was part of the game plan. And Jalen Bristow had 18 points. Only 3 of those came at the 3-point line. She was not scared. That girl was the second leading block. Like, she had the second most blocks in the nation, right? Francis coming into that game. And Jalen went right at her and got her in foul trouble and scored over her. Like, that was toughness. That was, I'm not scared. Like, that's the kind of stuff I learned from this team in this game that I love the most.
I love the way that we really dug deep. I mean, you almost were getting like flashbacks on that first quarter, like, oh, okay, like we finally are playing, like, Mississippi State has definitely the best non-con opponent that we were going to play. And then in the second quarter, you lock down on defense, only let them score 2 points, and then you go on that insane scoring run and you're able to initiate it. And I mean, we kind of saw it, like, against Texas State, where we, in the second quarter, really put them to bed. In that last 2 minutes, like, we knew this team had it in them, but for them to respond like that and then to keep up with Mississippi State the entire game and then just really find ways to make it work. Sarah got into foul trouble early, so we had to rely on Jada Malone. And I mean, shout out to Jada Malone. I mean, she was the Lady Raider of the game, I believe, for this one. Dominator of the game. And I mean, just her being able to get down there to the basket. We knew that she'd be a good offensive rebounder, was able to get that offensive rebound and put back. And then Snudda taking over late. And then defense. Danae and Hema both. That Destiny McFall point guard girl that I was talking about, I mean, they had her locked down. Like, that girl was getting pissed off every time Danae and Hema both were on it. It's like, and then once Danae had to sit out for a little bit in the game, Hema came in and Hema was all over her, and that point guard was just getting all pissed and frustrated and couldn't do anything. And I mean, you're holding these players that literally were averaging doubles for Mississippi State, and we're getting like 16 points a game. Like, the highest you ever let any player score was 12 points. And that was it. And rebounds, it was only that one girl who normally averages a double-double, but she only got 9 and 9. So, I mean, that just...
And there was a lot of missed shots in this game that were up for grabs.
Yes, a lot. I mean, so we really locked down on defense, and I think that that's where this team found their identity in, is just being able to dig deep and then still make things work, even when shots are still not falling. Everyone was able to have a good role in this and really step up.
Absolutely. I think you learn why defense is so important, and that, yes, in the Big 12, you're not always going to hit shots. So can you win a game when it gets ugly like that? And we did. And Mississippi State, their coach said before the game that it wasn't necessarily about us, but I'm sure the players saw the clip that was going around from their press conference that if you're going to press us, I want to punch you in the face and make you pay for it, basically. And they absolutely did throw the first punch, and it was our goal not to allow that to happen. We wanted to throw the first punch, but we got off the mat and swung back. And I think you learned a lot about yourselves and your teammates in that game. And I think that's something you can carry over moving forward, is like, okay, if we can figure out how to be that good defensively, and we're going to shoot better, because that was just an off shooting night. They were going like in and out. It was wildness. It happens sometimes. Maybe their length was bothering us. They were pretty long, but still, when we're doing both, then you can really control games. And I guess just to move into the next game on that note, you kind of saw that against New Mexico, is you had to be tough against New Mexico, and their shooting was much better. Still wasn't like elite like or anything. They weren't hitting like crazy amounts of threes, but I think they shot near 35% or something from three. And this once again had 4 players in double figures. The box score against New Mexico is pretty silly, actually. They had 4 players in double figures, and then 2 more, Danae Fritz and Sydney Love, were like a basket away from this. We can pull up the highlights, but since Tyler couldn't watch, basically, Tyler, to summarize, the first half was New Mexico just desperately trying to turn it into a football game. They were slapping, they were grabbing. Some of our fans were calling them dirty. I don't want to go that far, but it was very physical, and I was just like, get the hell out of here with a win and don't get hurt. Like, our team wasn't backing down, though. They were like, fine, we'll go at you as well, and that's what was concerning me, because I know they wouldn't back down. I was like, someone's going to get hurt, because if they're going to turn this into a fist fight, we have players on this team that are not going to back down, and they will absolutely turn this into a fist fight if the refs are going to allow it. And the refs were calling the fouls, and so they were sending us to the line a lot. We had 20 free throws in the first half.
Wow.
Made 15 of them, and that was 15 of our 39 points in the first half came at the free throw line. And then that kind of, I think we only had like 6 free throws in the second half. The second half turned more into a basketball game. We switched to a 1-3-1 zone at one point. Skurlik said that was to try to take a little bit of their kind of aggressiveness out of them, because they were kind of slapping, grabbing on defense, and then just like trying to attack us in the lane, and tried to like slow that down a little bit. And so that worked a little bit. And then our offense just started moving the ball a lot better. It's hard to move the ball again when they're grabbing and slapping you. So the first half was like just like a lot of stop and start basketball, but I appreciate that we didn't let it like get us frustrated, and we just kind of played through, like, okay, we'll take the points where you give them to us. We'll shoot free throws. Missed a few shots. Ran in transition really well in this game. Danae Fritz set the tone really well. First bucket of the game. Danae attacked at the rim. Tyler went through contact. Should have been an and one. Took a big bump and made it, and the ref just like stared at it. I don't know if she forgot the game started or what. Didn't blow a whistle. Both teams were like waiting for there to be an and one, and she didn't call anything. But she made it. And then she made a 3 right after that. She had 7 points, I believe, in the first quarter. Kind of set the tone of the game, and then everybody else kind of took over after that. So she was huge. I think she was given the new
blue
hard
collar
hat.
baller.
Blue collar. What? I mean, that is Danae Fritz right there. I don't know. I was just like, you just might as well just set that in her locker. But yeah, the story there, from what I've learned, is I want to say maybe Katara or Jada, one of the, either Coach Jada or Coach Chappell bought that. And they did it on Saturday night before the game, and kind of their pregame meeting. They all got together and they all signed it. And it was like, hey, we have to bring the hard hat to New Mexico. It's a hard place to play. I don't know if you know this, Tyler, but it's the highest altitude we'll play at this year. It's higher than BYU. It's higher than Colorado. It's up there. Like,
really? Albuquerque?
Yeah, people
really?
don't realize that about Albuquerque. It's like 5,400. It's high. It's much higher than these other places where we've looked like ghosts before when we've gone. Didn't look like it bothered us at all, Tyler. I'm not even kidding. You would have been so happy, because I know that we're not talking about it, but past times hasn't looked great. You would never have known we were at altitude. And we took the fight to them. It's a tough place to play, like I said, and we haven't had great success there in our history. We'd played there 6 times before and only won 4 times. I mean, 2 times out of 4. We were 2-4 on the road there in our long history, and got it done easy. I mean, we ended up blowing them out 82-57. 10-point lead at halftime. It was close at times in the first half, but it never really felt like we didn't have control of the game. It felt like if we just hit some shots, we were going to take over. I thought they were well coached. Thought they had us well scouted at times. They definitely had a few of our normal sets that we run kind of well guarded. And so like early in the game, we couldn't get the easy threes in the corner that we usually get, but we adjusted well and everybody was having solid games. I don't even think Bailey scored in the first quarter, and then she still ended up with like 15 points because that's Bailey Maupin. So we have Bailey Maupin, Jalen Bristow, and Snowda Collins all averaging 16 points a game, which is stupid. And they all basically hit those averages in this game. And then again, Jada was very efficient. Jada Malone had 10 points in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Just wild, the numbers she's putting up right now. She's coming in and getting it done. And Sydney Love was good. She had the glasses back on in this game. Hit a couple threes, made a tough bucket inside. And then again, Danae was the, what do they call it? Would you call it? Blue-collar baller. 9.6 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. She was running really well in transition as well. You'll see that in the highlights. I don't know if that hard hat thing, we were talking about it before. I don't know. I haven't heard the team talk about it. I'm just like gathering information of how that came to be, but they haven't really talked about it publicly yet. I'm sure someone will ask the next time they can, but I'm kind of wondering if it's just a road game thing, because that kind of makes sense to me. If it's like a, you gotta put your hard, you gotta put your hard hat on the road. Coaches say that all the time, or some form of that. So I wonder if they just tried to make that into a little. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's great because it honors players like Danae Fritz. That's why I say she'll have that a lot. But like Hema Nunes, she'll have that a lot. Like they do those little things, those toughness things that you have to do on the road to win, especially to win that big. Like New Mexico's a really solid team. Like they have good players. And we just took it to them and never let them. They were trying to tough us. Like they were trying to send a message to me like, yeah, y'all are wimps. Or you could see it on their faces, and we just didn't let it happen. So that's kind of the gist. Let's show the highlights, and Tyler can just react to them live.
Freaking Mountain West Network.
That should have been an and one right after the game. Whatever.
Should have been.
She made it anyway. And then Danae makes a three. 7 early points for her, big time.
Danae Fritz making her 11th three-pointer this season to give Texas Tech the lead.
She was locked in. Jay Malone through the entire team was around her, and she finished that. Jalen.
Oh, Jalen.
Jalen could have had 30 in this game. Like, I'm not even kidding. There was nobody that could guard Jalen Bristow. Oh, there you go. Him and Danae running the floor. That's an area, again, I think we're going to grow as a team and get a lot better at. You're seeing it start to come together. Jalen was just hooping. Just disrespectfully.
Look at that.
I'm telling you, if we had just given him the ball in every possession, which we don't want to do that because it's November, we need to get better at offense, but she could.
Dang, okay, Jada.
Yeah.
Okay, Jada. Look at that.
We matched their toughness for sure. They tried to bully us, and we said fine. That was actually a really big shot because they had just hit a three, and Hema made one. And Snowda just mid-range queen over here. Look at this. Danae just all over so much.
Blue collar baller.
You want to play football? I can tackle. Big time step back three.
Bailey.
Yeah. And then we started to extend it a little bit, and then they made a three, but whatever.
Who leaves Snowda wide open like that?
I'm saying.
New Mexico does.
We ran that play. They were trying to trap us, and we were getting out of the trap, which is important because Old
Oh my
Dominion
God.
loves to trap. We got a little
Game
piece
is
of that
fun.
with Mexico.
Still 9 on the shot clock.
Look at this ball moving on this play. Oh, that possession was beautiful. They didn't even show the full highlight. It went around the whole possession was just zipping around, and then that was the end of it. Look at this, another wide open shooter.
Open is Collins, and that three is good. They tried
Pretty basketball. It was a good mix of pretty and blue collar ballers in this game. It was fun. Sydney right here. Look at this through contact. She was great in this game. Just calm. Look at this little give and go between Hema and Jada. Oh, pretty. Oh,
Oh.
come on now. Come on now.
The old give and go.
This is really more impressive on Snowda. I mean, good trust from Hema there, but Snowda went and got it. Like, speaking of football, like she was a receiver. Watch Danae right here. In the air, put back between
Whoa.
3 people.
Whoa.
I'm telling Danae can do that more. So it was good to see her locked in that way. She's capable of that every game. Sydney was perfect for 3, I believe, in this.
Sydney Love. Malone gets it right back to Love.
Oh. Oh. Look at that.
Salone's now got 10,
Our point guards were just great
in double digits.
and pocket passes. Again, in New Mexico they were playing very physical, very scrappy, and then they were throwing bodies, they were throwing traps at us, and we were just really handling it with poise, which I really like to see. This team, for the most part, I mean, even in that first quarter against Mississippi State, they never looked necessarily like rattled. It was just like kind of a little bit like, okay, what happened? And they settled in. But yeah, I like to see the team at altitude. Didn't seem to affect them. Short rotation. I thought we might dip into our rotation a little deeper in this game because of the altitude. And New Mexico loves to get the pace up. But we still mostly played our same 8 people. And we looked like we were the fitter team. Like, we didn't look tired. That'll be tested this week with games so close together. But in this game, I just thought they did good work. I'm not much else to say. I don't know, you have any thoughts after seeing the highlights for the first time?
Yeah. No, I mean, we looked really great in that. I like that we were able to kind of get other people the ball and kind of get them working. Like Sydney, I think that was good for her to kind of have a bigger game in this. Again, Jada Mullen's doing her thing. Danae, it was good for her to have like fill up the entire stat sheet like that. Hema to have 8 assists, getting her assist
Only
numbers
one
back up in there.
turnover.
I know. This is
Great.
impressive stuff, and I think that's what I really love is like we said that this team has power 4 players, power 4 talent. Like it's so comforting to like, we go to a place like New Mexico, which is a historically tough mid-major. Coach Gerlich said not many power 4 schools want to come and play there. We were like, we're gonna go play there. And while it could have been a trap game, we like handled them. And that's like a huge difference. Like we're no longer right now, at least, we're no longer competing at that mid-major level, like trying to be like, oh well, this team will be a tournament team, like this will help our resume. Like no, like we're not even like, we're just like, oh no, these are games that we need to win that we need to win big, take care of business, and then we can set our eyes upon the really really huge games. And then you start looking at a different situation where instead of just trying to get into the tournament, now you're looking at your seeding for the tournament. And I know it's only November and we still have a lot of basketball to go, but I'm already seeing a lot more. I'm just seeing a lot more from this team and a lot more focus and a lot more, this team is legit. It's the real deal. Like I've already told you, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, still drinking it. That game, I was just really impressed by that. And yes, we'll see this weekend going into a very tough turnaround where you only have, 2 days day break in between of each game, but we'll see how we respond with that. But so far, everything's been looking really great.
Yeah, you can't argue with the results. If you've watched the games, if you looked at it, it's just different. They have to keep doing it, but it's different. Yeah, New Mexico last year was like a 2 or 3 point win. Like it was a very close game. This New Mexico team is at least as good as that one, if not better. We'll see. But they've been playing. They lost to Colorado at Colorado, but then they've been blowing everybody else out. They're coming into this game. They had 3 straight blowouts of 30 points or more. Like they came in this game they were against mid majors, but they were feeling themselves. Thought they had figured some things out after getting beat up by Colorado on the road, and then we just beat them up. So it was kind of like you're still.
They had a
good
crowd there
you're
too.
Not. Yeah, it was good, and they don't like the Lady Raiders. Historically.
Yeah.
I don't really know the full history. I just know that they do not like us. And you could hear their crowd was very angsty, I would say. And it seemed like our players liked it. They were like, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah.
So I love that for them. No, it was fun. That's kind of the thoughts. There's not much more to say there than what Tyler said. We didn't get to hear from any players after the game, just Gerlich, but Tyler mentioned her quote on Power Force coming in there. That was kind of the gist of it. Good stuff. Got to carry in that toughness into this week. They have 2 more games before a little bit of a break. They've played a lot of games quickly to start their year. And it's an interesting travel logistically. I hope they just traveled from Albuquerque. Maybe they flew straight to Dallas. I don't know what their travel was. But if not, then they would have been traveling today on Monday and then playing Tuesday. So they're going to play a team in Old Dominion who wildly we have a 1-3 record against historically. I don't know what that's about, but for whatever reason, this little mid-major they're up from where I used to live. So I think they're in New Virginia. I think Old Dominion's in Virginia.
I think they're in Virginia. Yeah.
We used to get a lot of baseball players from there for the league that I've worked for. But anyway, so I've heard the school, and they're one of those mid-majors that takes all their sports seriously, but still a weird thing to have a losing record against a mid-major, especially one that's not from your region. And that's who we're playing on Tuesday, so probably tonight as you're watching this. And they're basically going against them with like a shoot-around's worth of prep. There's no way they had a real practice between Sunday's game and a Tuesday game. So that's a test. It's a little bit like an NCAA tournament test, where in those scenarios you'll have 1 day off between games. So you're going to do that with 1 day off here, and then you're going to have 1 day off again on Wednesday and play again Thursday against North Texas, who's another good team, both in Frisco, to get it done. Don't have huge previews on them. Old Dominion, very long, very athletic. They will trap you, full court press you the whole game. They want to get after you. We've seen a little bit of that from some teams in spurts, but it sounds like that's what they want to do, and to see if you can handle it. So to take a little page out of Mississippi State's coach's book, if you let them beat you up, that's not fun, but you can punch them in the mouth and have a lot of fun with that if you throw it back at them, so I'm sure that'll be our attitude. But we're going to have to show that we can handle that. Who was it that did that to us recently, and we handled that pretty well? They pressed the whole game. Can't remember. Whoever we played before in Mississippi State. They tried to press us the whole game.
Who did we play?
I don't remember, but
Shoot.
it didn't phase us.
Arkansas?
Really, so.
No,
I guess
or was
it
it
Arkansas
SMU
before.
or Texas
SMU,
State?
yes.
Right.
SMU tried to press us,
Oh,
and we
SMU.
just torched them.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll see if it's similar to that. And then North Texas is a really good team, and they could be a tournament team. Like I think they're in the same conference as UTSA, so it's going to be them or North Texas probably each year getting out of there. They ironically have a 6'4" big on their team that was an NAIA star at Wayland Baptist. Like, I'm talking, she might have been the NAIA Player of the Year, definitely an All-American. Had stupid stats at that level. I do believe it's someone that we looked at in the offseason. She looked at a few different Big 12 schools. But from what I remember, I think her people decided that it was better if she went to a mid-major and could get, like, steady playing time. Because she's very much a developmental project, because she's from, like, St. Lucia and hadn't even played basketball until, like, 3 years ago or something. Like, right before she went to college. Like, she was a netball player. And if you don't know what netball is, I guess it's like basketball, but they don't dribble. Sidebar, I went to Australia for 3 months and was a teacher at this school. And so during the PE, what we would call PE, but their physical ed class part of the day, I would teach, and I had to teach netball, and I was just laughing at them the whole time. It's basically, netball is like a glorified drill in basketball. Everybody has to be in different zones of the court. You can't leave your zone. You can't dribble. You have to only pass it up the court to each zone to your teammates. The people inside, there's only one person from each team inside the shooting arc, and they're the only people that can shoot, and they can't move. Once they catch the ball, they have to shoot from where they are, and there's no backboard. It's just a post with a goal on it. So you have to be a really good shooter. I think she was the person in that end, on the finishing end. Anyway, so she played that her whole life. She's 6'4". She averaged like 20 points and like 16 rebounds or something stupid at the NAIA level, if not more. She's had really good games and really bad games so far for North Texas. She had a really good game in their win over SMU, a really close win, but she had a double-double. We'll have to show that we can handle that. I think she's one of those that pressure her. She turns it over a lot. That's what was her issue, and why I think her people felt like she'd be better starting at a mid-major to work her way into it. But she's also bigger than anybody we have. Very strong, very skilled, because she played netball. You have to be skilled. But she didn't dribble the ball in that sport. So that's where those turnovers come. Is if you get after her, that's not an innate skill to her. The shooting, the rebounding, all that. But dribbling, you don't do that in netball. I'm just saying, you don't. It's a glorified basketball drill. In fact, it's a great basketball drill to have to pass it to each zone and shoot without dribbling. Coaches love that. Love it, absolutely. But you have to dribble in this sport. So make her, throw some people at her. Might be what we do. We'll see. But Sarah's going to have to be big data. They just have good athletes. I think it's number 12. I'd go to war with number 12. I think it is on UNT. She's a scrappy little guard. Has a little, her and Danae are going to have fun. Has a little, to her. She went on like an 8-0 scoring run on her own against SMU and was letting them hear about it. So I don't know her name, but I think it was number 12. And I have not seen Old Dominion play, so I got nothing for you except for what Gerlich said, which was that they press and trap all the time.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Old Dominion, their only losses to Massachusetts, UMass, who actually is really good this year. UMass is undefeated. Boston College is not good at women's basketball, but again, they're still a Power 4 ACC team, so UMass did beat them. So again, Old Dominion's hung in there, and as you said, we have a really weird past with Old Dominion. As a matter of fact, the 1999 Lady Raider team that only had 4 losses and I think made it to the Elite Eight or something, they lost to Old Dominion. Granted, Old Dominion was good that year, but it's just a weird thing.
Yeah,
but
it's a weird thing.
as I've told Shelby, we're treating Old Dominion like I am treating Texas Tech football this year. This is a new team. We're going away from our old ways. We're gonna handle business against Old Dominion, and we're gonna keep rolling. As Jalen Bristow said, what's next? We're gonna go 8-0. Like let's make it 8-0.
Bristow so much.
Yeah,
He's like a new person. I just love that Jalen Bristow is just like
dog, absolute
7-0,
dog.
8-0, just turning into a
8-0.
dog before our eyes.
And then after that, 9-0 for UNT. Yeah, and in UNT, they are only losses to Abilene Christian, who we actually play in Odessa later in December.
Questions.
And then
as
you said, I know questions about that. But and then as you said, they beat SMU by 3 points the other night. So we're 13-point favorites for both games. Just looking at metrics are starting to like us more. Rankers are starting to like us more. We already have 5 votes in the women's AP poll. Big deal, guys. If y'all think this team's the real deal, they are receiving votes on the AP poll.
I'll mention it because we joke like they were receiving votes at some point last year, and we didn't even mention it because I was like, this is weird.
Yeah,
they hadn't earned it yet last year. I think they've earned it this year, but 1 loss and you'll drop out of there, so they know that. I think it's one of those things. It's cool, but like it doesn't matter. Yeah,
gotta focus with the daybreak in between. Get game plan. Likely they've already been scouting these teams though before. Like they're just doing combo practices.
That's for sure because but the players, the way it usually works, and I'm not there, so I can't speak for them. But the way it usually works is coaches are like on a rotation. They each have a different. They all scout, and so someone's been working on Old Dominion for weeks on this staff. I don't know who it is, but someone has. So they have a full scout. The coach is ready to go. They're like, this is their moment to shine. Whoever it is like, let's go. This is my team. But the actual players, they were focusing on New Mexico. So they got handed the scout or probably an iPad or whatever it is nowadays, modern. And you're like, here's some film, watch it. This is who you're guarding on the way home from New Mexico, on the way to Frisco. Like that's the first time they've probably started talking too much about them. But it's basketball. So like conceptually, like playing a team that traps you. We've done that a little bit with SMU and some others. It's just on a different level because it's who they are and it's kind of their backbone of it. And then UNT is just a good team, well coached. Again, they could be a tournament team, and they always seem to, I don't know, in every sport, they beat us in softball. So, like, get back for the softball girls. But yeah, if you can get through this week, you can breathe a little bit, but you can't breathe yet. But if they can get through this week 9-0, then they only play 2 games over their next 15 days. And they can kind of really start getting ready for conference. Because it's been, like, frenetic, a lot of fun, gotten through a tough period of your schedule. If you can just push through a few more days, then they can just have a little downtime to get better at what they need to before the last stretch before conference. So we'll see. It's on Flow Sports, so I bit the bullet and bought it, so I'll watch it. But it's like $20, so I'll let y'all know. I doubt. What I'll say is Tuesday's game, you'll see me tweeting. Thursday's game, it's at 2 p.m. I'll be eating with my family at 2 p.m. on Thursday, so I will not be watching that game live, and I'll check in and tweet after. So I hope they win, but I will watch it at some point. Unfortunately, they scheduled it right in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. This is not a full-time job. I promise you if it was a full-time job, I would be there, but it's not, so I'm eating with my family. That's how this works. If you want me to be there... Kidding. No. Yeah, so hope they get it done. 9-0.
9-0. Has a good ring to it. Let's do it.
Men's basketball I didn't watch. I was driving back from soccer. Do you have any thoughts on Wake Forest Wake Forest and Purdue, I guess, other than it's November?
Yeah, no. My biggest thing is just, Wake Forest, you're glad to get that win because Wake Forest, they did play somebody. I think they played Michigan really close last week. They that was a
Memphis
game
on a buzzer beater after our game the other day.
Yeah, to get in. Wake Forest is definitely going to be a tournament team, and they're going to do some good things in the ACC, so I'm glad we got that win. Purdue, guys, it wasn't great. No one wants to be 30-pieced. I think the biggest thing I'm kind of looking for is just, the leadership aspect of it, as we've mentioned before. We need to find, you would think Christian and JT are your leaders, and that's who you need to look to. But I really need to see more from them. And I also it is November. Y'all act like, I think a lot of y'all are confused because we came off of that great Elite Eight run, but we're not the same team, and we're not just going to jump right back into how we left the season. Yeah, there's barely any returners. So I mean, it's just November basketball. It sucks, but clearly, if this gives you any hope, which it kind of gives me hope, if you want to take AP poll for what it's worth, we only dropped to number 20 in the AP polls. Clearly, the AP poll voters don't think it's the end of the world for us. They didn't completely take us out. I mean, we lost to the number one team in the country, who's number one in the country for a reason. We still have a lot to work on, but we have great opportunities to bounce back at home Wednesday against New Orleans at noon and Sunday against Wyoming at 2. That'll be a fun one, right? Wyoming, isn't there history there with our assistant, or is that all?
Assistant
coach. Yeah. He's still there?
I think
is he still with us? Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be fun. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Just, I'm looking for leadership, and it's still November. We got a lot to work on. They didn't have a whole Germany experience where they could, iron out all these issues. That's what y'all need to remember.
Do need to remember that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of trust at this point. Again, I've said it before. Grant's earned that trust. What I've seen is a little bit concerning, but it's November. I'm going to trust to get better. What I'll say is I think you'll learn a lot about the men's basketball team over the next month, because I've said it before on the show, and it'll be big for women's basketball as well. But men's basketball has farther to go in the chemistry side. Is that month between the end of the fall semester and the beginning of the spring semester for college athletes, especially basketball, because it's in season, is massive. Because all they do for 4 weeks is basketball. There's no class. Mm-hmm. They're the only students on campus. Anyway, it's basketball. It's like a training camp. You're even playing games during that time. It's just basketball. You don't have to get up. You don't have to do homework. The teams that win a championship get a lot better in that month. And for women's basketball, it's like, hey, you can't let these other teams catch up to you because you had that head start. And this is where they can catch up to them. So we'll see how they use it to hopefully keep where they're going. Men's basketball has a lot of catching up to do. Hopefully that comes there, because they didn't get that in the fall because they were all hurt. They're all finally getting healthy. So I think that month between coming up for them is going to be big, because it's finals week next week, and then it's just basketball. And they desperately need practice. I think Grant even said, I can't wait for practice. Which, Lord help them, you never want a coach to say that. That's not fun. Yeah. So I'm sure they're having fun. But they need it. So we'll see. I mean, that team that we saw is not winning much, even in the Big 12, for being frank. Right. But Grant has shown to get them better. So, but yeah, they need some things to change. It can't just be JT and Chance out there. We've seen that in basketball. You can't win with just 2 players. And they got to find a third and a fourth and all that. And we'll see if they do. Mm-hmm. It's not much deeper than that. I don't know. We could break it down for you, but it's November. I'm not going to do that. If we need to do a film review on men's basketball, talk to me in January. I got you guys. If we need to go down that road right now, let's just wait and see. All right, Tyler. Football. How are we going to get to the Big 12 championship for the first time in school history? How are we going to avoid the Morgantown letdown that has happened to so many of our sports? It's Saturday. It's 11 a.m. I think the high is 36. It's going to be cold. It's going to be dewy and foggy in the mountains of Morgantown, West Virginia. The fans are going to hate us. Their season's over, but they're looking at us like, let's ruin their season. They can't even make a bowl, but they can ruin Texas Tech's season. That team that stole all the good players, and we suck, and we're jealous, well, we can ruin it for them. How do we not let that happen, Tyler? Please prepare the boys.
Yeah. I mean, West Virginia, 4-7, 2-6 in the Big 12. Losses to Kansas and Utah and BYU. UCF. Don't know how that happened. And those were all pretty bad. But now, West Virginia, the only thing that's scaring a lot of people, other than it being in Morgantown and the weather elements and all that, they did play Arizona State pretty close. Now, granted, Arizona State is down. They did not have a full healthy roster. But Arizona State was ranked at the time, and it took the final minutes for Arizona State to pull through. And West Virginia did upset Houston when they were ranked as well. But as we've talked about, West Virginia, they still really, though, aren't that really good. They had a quarterback situation where they were trying to put in everybody in the world, and now they found their freshman quarterback. He's QB1 now, Scotty Fox Jr. What a name, Scotty Fox. Yeah, Scotty Fox, he has 1,178 yards, 88 completions, and 7 touchdowns. But the big thing is West Virginia doesn't really pass a lot, and I think that's what you have to do is you have to make Scotty uncomfortable. It's going to come down to the line of scrimmage in this game. I think this is where our defense is going to have to put a lot of pressure on him in the pocket because that's what they're going to want to do. They're going to want to keep running. They're going to keep wanting to run the ball the entire time. They're going to want to force turnovers on us because if they can force turnovers on us, then West Virginia can get all that momentum. And I think that's just really what this game's going to come down to is, can we be able to stop their rushing? I mean, they have a really good running back, D.R. Hubbard. He has 335 yards on the season, 4 touchdowns. They also have Sincere Bowers, 246 yards and 2 touchdowns also on the season as well. And then on our end of things, West Virginia's defense, they have a pretty good pass rush. And, when you looked at the BYU game with Barron, we were kind of struggling against that a little bit with our O-line. So our O-line's really going to have to protect Barron in this. Again, this is a game where the elements, it really scares you about how much you really want to be passing in this game. So I think you're going to have to look to Cam Dickey and Jacoby Williams a lot in this game and just kind of run all over them. And then hopefully our defense can kind of hold them off, right? I mean, West Virginia, they have players, they have athletes. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they're still a Power 4 football team, but I mean, this should be a game you should win. 24-point favorites in Morgantown, and as I said before, as I was just talking about women's basketball, this is a new Tech team. You would think that we would finish it out strong and that we seal that your spot in the Big 12 title, but to be clear, you have to win to get into the Big 12 title because we did not get much help from Colorado. I don't know. They gave up in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I think that it could be clinched in theory because I think if Arizona beats Arizona State on Friday night, so we could wake up in the morning and know. But we're still trying to get the 1 seed. So they could already know, but I still think we're gonna try to win. I don't think we're gonna sit people because we're trying to get we're trying to get a top 4 seed.
In the
so
college
you need to win
playoff.
for sure to do that. So yeah, just go do the damn thing. I think Barron's been in a boot all week again, but he's had 2 weeks off, so hopefully he'll be ready to go. Don't get hurt. J-Rod, go win the Heisman. Team that likes to run, well, he should have a lot of tackles then. He'll punch out the ball a few times. I'm going to predict at least one J-Rod forced fumble, and maybe an interception.
Your odds on that? Pretty high, I would
Pretty
think.
high. Pretty high.
Yeah, pretty high.
And then we're going to let him be the quarterback again, and he's going to run one in.
Well, hey, let's have
stats.
at it. Stat pad. Get that Heisman candidacy up.
Yeah, let's go do it. I don't know where I'll be for that game. I don't know if I'll be back in Lubbock or I don't know. Holiday week. But we'll talk to you guys maybe Monday. We'll be back on we'll get on back to a normal schedule after the holidays and figure out how we're going to do basketball, but it'll just be basketball and football for a bit moving forward till we get to softball season. So excited. We'll probably start doing some softball coverage before then because we can't help ourselves. But for now, it's basketball and football season because our beloved soccer is over. Volleyball, their season, as far as postseason, that's all over. But I do believe they have some home games, so senior day should be coming up this week. Over the next week. I hope it's not on Thanksgiving. That would suck. But I think in the next week or so, you'll have a chance to attend volleyball senior day. There's only a handful of seniors, so that's the whole point of this team. They're all so young, but I think there are a couple of grad seniors you can go celebrate on senior day for them.
Yes,
and then
it
their
looks
season
like
will be wrapped up as well.
they play on Wednesday, right after the men's basketball game, and then they play Saturday, early at 1.
Okay,
so
I think those are their last 2 games of the year,
home.
so one of those is probably senior day. So get out there, support them if you're in town and want to do that. And then it really will just be basketball and football. And cross country, of course.
Here we go. Yeah,
Dominating.
cross country. Yeah, they did some good stuff this week.
Always. Yeah, that's what we got. Y'all have great Thanksgivings. Eat all the food. All the sports happening. If you're in Dallas, go watch the Lady Raiders in Frisco on Tuesday and Thursday. I know I've already seen some of y'all saying you're going to be there on Tuesday for Tuesday's game for sure. So hope y'all enjoyed the game. And then we'll recap it. Hopefully recapping a lot of dubs on Monday. All dubs on Monday.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Across the board.
That's all I got. Wreck 'em.
Wreck 'em.